Welcome to East Asia Dove. Today, we're talking about Korea's 2025 October 15th real estate measures. Why this policy shocked the market. The main topic of today is the policy, the effect, and other policies before this policy measures. We will get through it and we will think about what is going to be the impact from it. So I want to be very clear upfront. This is an extremely aggressive policy package until now. When I read it for the first time, I honestly stopped and said, wow, this is strong. Why this is already the third policy of 2025? This is not the first real estate policy announced by Korea government this past year. It's actually the third one. Let's quickly walk through what happened. The first policy came out on June 27, known as the 627 measures. The goal was simple: control household debt. The key role was the mortgage loans were capped at 6 million Korean won, which is about 450,000 US dollars. This was a demand control policy designed to slow down buying. Soon after, people started to say, okay, but where is the supply? So on September 7, the government of Korea released the 9/7 housing supply plan. The headline number was massive. By 2030, in Seoul and the capital area, the government plans to start 1.35 million new housing units. This was a very aggressive supply-side policy. At this point, you might think demand control's done, supply plan announced. So why a third policy? Because home prices in Seoul kept rising. After the June policy, prices slowed a little. After the September policy, they didn't slow at all. They took off again. It was like a bus that stopped briefly, then suddenly hit the gas. People rushed back in, afraid of missing out. This created what's often called the balloon effect. You push prices down on one area, they pop up somewhere else. You regulate the Gangnam 3 district area and also Yongsan district, then other parts of Seoul start rising. Soon the entire city felt unstable. To stop this chain reaction, the government acted again. On October the 15th, they released the Housing Market Stabilization Measures. The policy was announced at 10 a.m. Almost instantly, people rushed to the Ministry of Land website. The site slowed down. Many users saw waiting screens. By 5 p.m. the same day, the document has been viewed over 30,000 times. For a government policy release, that level of attention is extremely rare. According to the government, in Seoul and parts of Gyeonggi province, house prices were rising quickly. Transaction volumes were increasing. Expectations of future price increases grew. Speculative buying became visible. Money supply in the economy was high. That extra liquidity was flowing into real estate. So government decided to step in before prices rose even more. The first major action was to expand regulated areas. This part surprised many people. That's what happened in the beginning of our program. All of Seoul was under the regulated areas and plus 12 areas in Gyeonggi province. That means every single district in Seoul and large parts of southern Gyeonggi province are now under strict regulation. Started from October the 15th. And adjustment target area means the government sees overseeding, mortgage rules get stricter, buyers must explain where their money comes from. Transactions are reviewed closely. Buying and reselling is restricted. Pre-sale rights can be flipped easily. In redevelopment projects areas, ownership transfers are limited. This is maximum level regulation. Before this big change, only Gangnam District, Seoul District, Songpa, and Yongsan District were regulated. Now it includes all of Seoul and Gyeonggi Province area like Bundang, Gwacheon, Gwangmyeong, Seongnam, Suwon, Anyang, Donganggu, Yongin, Sujigu, Uiwang, and Hanam. The practical terms is the entire capital core is locked down. Mortgage lending was cut sharply. Before this policy, first-time buyers could borrow up to 70%. Existing house owners is up to 60%. Now, the first-time buyers only have 40%. And existing homeowners, 0. If you already own a home, you generally cannot get a mortgage in these areas. Now let's talk about loan caps, explained clearly in US dollars. If a home cost about up to 11 million US dollars, roughly it's like 15 billion Korean won, the maximum mortgage is about 450,000 US dollars. That's about like 600 million Korean won. If a house costs between like 11 and 19 million US dollars, that is 15 to 25 billion Korean won, the maximum mortgage drops to about 300,000 US dollars. That's 400 million Korean won. If a house costs over 19 million US dollar, more than 25 billion Korean won, the maximum mortgage is only about 150,000 US dollars. That's 200 million Korean won. The more expensive the house is, the less the bank will lend, even in absolute dollar terms. High-end buyers must bring huge amounts of cash with almost no leverage. If you buy a house, you must move in within 6 months. If the home is in a land transaction permission zone, you must live there for 2 full years. And so this was the district thing that happened to the whole area that we are talking about. The effectively bans is buying with jeonse, gap investment, short-term holding without living there. These strategies are now basically impossible. Restrictions also apply to other loans. If you have more than about 75,000 US dollars as in the loan, that's 100 million Korean won. In unsecured credit loans, you cannot buy a house for 1 full year. This based on approved credit limits, not how much you actually used. Multi-homeowners now face that it's higher purchase taxes, heavier capital gains taxes, and no long-term holding deductions. In redevelopment projects, 1 home per member, transfers of membership rights restricted. The Minister of Land said we could not miss the golden time to stabilize the housing market. Officials also said more regulation could come if needed. They're doing for that. This policy is already in effect, but details may still change. If you are affected, always check official sources. This podcast is for explanation only, not financial advice. Thank you for listening. I will see you next time.